Europe. Europe turning into Eurabia. There is nothing wrong with having people to come to your country from other countries. But when they come in and they do not, repeat, they do not want to assimilate into the culture of that country, whether it be the United States, Great Britain, Germany, or Sweden, quickly going down the drain, by the way, in Sweden, it is a disaster. And there is now an invasion underway from the Middle East, Muslims, many of them Islamist, and you can't tell me that there aren't a lot of al-Qaeda plants among them, when it's said to be 80% of these alleged refugees, and refugees do need help, and we should help them. Obama wouldn't mind bringing 100,000 here. Sorry, we ought to say absolutely not. Absolutely not. But the invasion is going on, and Europe is turning into Eurabia. Here is a letter from a physician. It took me a while to get this letter and to find out where it was from, but as I said earlier, a dear listener in Israel sent me the source of authority on it, and I do know that it played on Czech TV, and she was on Czech TV, and we have another story about Germany as well. From the doctor. Yesterday at the hospital, we had a meeting about how the situation here and at other Munich hospitals is unsustainable. Yep, that's right. You heard it right, listeners. Unsustainable. Clinics cannot handle the emergencies, so they're starting to send everything to the hospitals. Many Muslims are refusing treatment by female staff, and we women are refusing to go among these people, especially the ones that are from Africa. Relations between the staff and the migrants are going from bad to worse. Since last weekend, migrants going to the hospitals must be accompanied by police with canine units. Many migrants have AIDS, syphilis, open TB, many exotic diseases that we in Europe don't even know how to treat. We don't know how to treat them. If they receive a prescription in the pharmacy, then they learn they have to pay cash for it. This leads to unbelievable outbursts, especially when it's about a prescription for the children. They abandon the children with the pharmacy staff with the words, "So you cure them here yourselves." So the police are not just guarding the clinics and the hospitals, they're now guarding the large pharmacies as well. It doesn't get better, listeners, as you listen. Truly, we said openly, where are all those who had welcomed in front of the TV cameras, those with the welcome signs, and with the signs at train stations? Yes, for now, the border has been closed, but 1 million of them are already here, and will definitely not be able to get rid of them. It's going to be very difficult to get rid of them. They never should have been allowed in. They want no part of assimilating into the German culture, none whatsoever. Until now, the number of unemployed in Germany was 2.2 million. Now it's going to be 3.5 million. Most of these people are completely unemployable. A bare minimum of them have any education. What's more, their women don't work at all. They just don't work. Thousands of them have brought along infants and little children under 6, many emaciated and neglected. If this continues and Germany reopens its borders, I'm going home to the Czech Republic. Nobody can keep me here in this situation, not even double the salary than at home. I went to Germany. I didn't go to the Middle East. I really don't need this. But I'm afraid that if I return, that some people will point, and the same thing will then happen in the Czech Republic. If the Germans, with their nature, cannot handle this, the Czechoslovakia will be in total chaos. Nobody who has come in contact with them has any idea what they're like, especially, again, the ones who are from Africa. How Muslims act superior to our staff regarding their religious accommodation. For now, the local hospital staff has not come down with the diseases they brought here, But with so many hundreds of patients every day, just a question of time, just a question of time. In a hospital near the Rhine, migrants attacked the staff with knives after they had handed over an 8-month-old on the brink of death, which they had dragged across half of Europe for 3 months. The child died in 2 days, despite having received top care at one of the best pediatric clinics in Germany. The physician had to undergo surgery, and 2 nurses are laid up in the intensive care unit. Nobody has been punished. Europe is turning into Arabia. The local press is forbidden to write about this, so we know about it through our email. What would have happened to a German if he had stabbed a doctor and nurses with a knife? What would have happened to that German? Or if he had flung his own syphilis-infected urine into a nurse's face and so threatened her with infection? At a minimum, he'd go straight to jail and later to court. With these people, so far, nothing has happened. And so I ask, where are all the greeters and receivers again from the train station? Are they sitting pretty at home, enjoying their nonprofits, and looking forward to more trains and their next batch of cash from acting like the greeters at the stations? If it were up to me, I would round up all of these greeters, and I would bring them here first to our hospital's emergency ward as attendants, and then into one building with the migrants so they can look after them themselves, without armed police, without police dogs, who today are in every hospital here in Bavaria, and without medical help. Are we going to allow, listeners, I ask you tonight, are we going to allow this situation to happen in America? I'm telling you, the Obama administration, they wouldn't mind at all. They wouldn't mind bringing in 100,000. I say absolutely not. Help true refugees, yes. Tens of thousands coming here, no thanks. Earlier this month, as illegal and largely Muslim migrants continued to surge into Europe from Syria and from Iraq and Afghanistan, a German political scientist, Jürgen F. Walter, warned that the country is facing total disaster. He said in an interview with a newspaper that Chancellor Angela Merkel, and by the way, I think she's lost her mind. This woman Merkel has lost her mind. But he did say that as far as she is concerned, this is a terrible policy, and it's like an invitation to the entire world that unlimited refugees are welcome. He criticized and characterized Germany's liberal immigration policy as a Pandora's box that has opened too far. And he said, as the demographics change in Germany, so may the political leadership. Muslims are not going to vote, and there are a number of parties in Germany that have Christian in their name. Muslims won't vote for them. First thing they want to do, reminds me of a certain president, went to a Jesuit university. It would happen with the Jebbies, a Jesuit university called Georgetown. And they covered up all the crosses so the president could make his address. You know who that president was? Barack Obama. It's bad in Europe, folks. It's getting worse. And I hope and pray that it doesn't happen here, but that we do help people who are truly in need. But remember,